Hello everybody and welcome to Beyond the Game. In 2008, the last Burnout game was released for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PC. Now 10 years later we see the return of Burnout with the remaster of Burnout Paradise. The graphical power has increased significantly over the last 10 years with the new generation of consoles, and that's immediately noticeable when you start up the game. It runs at a solid 60 frames per second at 1080p on your standard PS4 and Xbox One. This in comparison to the last generation 60 frames per second but only at 720p. Sure, in that regards it isn't massively forward, but it brings in better looking textures. The game has made some minor graphical enhancements. The cars have an overall better reflection on them and have a minor increase in textures. The shadow quality however has been increased drastically, and this brings the environment more to life. The smoke during your typical donut looks much better than 10 years ago, and so do the sparks that will be flying off your car when landing a big jump. Other than that, there aren't much noticeable improvements here. The draw distance remains the same, and so do the overall building textures. When you have an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro however, you are in for a much better treat. Both versions run at 4K at 60 frames per second without any frame drops. Sure, everything is the same as the standard PS4 or Xbox One, but the extra bump in resolution here really makes the difference. Overall, the open world does look nice, even though it's a bit outdated. The game sounds exactly the same as its previous release 10 years ago, and that's a very good thing. That means that all the soundtracks are still here and none have been removed that sometimes happen to a remaster due to licensing issues. The cars all have their different sound, but it still has a very arcadey tone to it. Your typical American muscle car has that heavy growl, while the supercar has a high-pitched tone of an overworked engine. The squeaking tires and car crashes sound spot on, and it makes you feel like the crashes are actually happening outside your doorstep. There are no new added sound features or new soundtracks, but it stays true to the original release. Burnout Paradise is all about over-the-top speeds and most of all spectacular crashes and jumps. You start your career with just a limited amount of cars, but after completing some races you will gain access to more cars and motorcycles. As you win races you will also upgrade your so-called license, which allows you to partake in more difficult races with faster cars. In Burnout Paradise you have many events to choose from. You have your stunt runs, where it is your goal to get as many points as possible by making big jumps, boosts, drifts and driving against traffic. Then there is your road rage, where it is your goal to wreck as many opponents into a wall as possible. Marked Man is where you're the one being hunted and you have to get from A to B without being wrecked yourself. And last but not least you have your standard racing. The races themselves of course are very straightforward. Just make sure that you finish first, but you have to do so in a city full of traffic. This will definitely mean that you will crash. Once you smash your car into a wall, oncoming traffic or on a parked car, the game will go into a slow motion mode where you will see your crash in all of its glory. The camera will also switch to your opponent if you smash him into a wall. It's not disturbing, but it will take you away from the race for a split second. The racing itself feels very arcade-like, what Burnout was known for. Besides racing, there's a lot of things to do in the large free roaming city. You have to find massive jumps, shortcuts, billboards and even complete fun challenges. You can also switch to the online mode where you can show off your skills to the rest of the world. This remaster comes with all of its former downloadable content. So you will get the motorcycles, mini cars and extra island with the remaster. But this also brings me to a very negative point, and that's its price. It's $39.99 and for a remaster it feels kind of steep. Definitely when you take in consideration that the game is backwards compatible on the Xbox One, and then the choice might be difficult to make. Sure, the game looks more crisp and you will get all the downloadable content, but with its price point in mind it's hard to recommend. If however you have the money to spare, this game is still a ton of fun and will keep you playing for days, even though the game is really showing its age. I give this game a 7.5 out of 10. Did you play the original and have fun memories of the game? And are you going to buy the remaster? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and thanks for watching and see you next time.